Hi everybody, the Serial Stamper here from theserialstamper.com with a quick video on how I have created the three-dimensional vellum star ornaments that I gave you a sneak peek of last week when I did the instructions on how to do the three-dimensional star boxes. Okay, so our supply list will include the Stampin' Up! Star framelits. We're going to be using our glimmer paper. I'm going to be using silver and champagne. Aren't these just terrifically sparkly? I love this paper. And also our vellum cardstock. I am again going to be using the Tombow multi-purpose glue. If you watch me at all, you know that is my fave. And always on hand have a wet rag for you to be able to wipe your hands clear in case you get any adhesive on them. And I always have a dry one available as well. And a toothpick. Alright, so we're going to use the Simply Scored for this project and with our vellum. A tip that I will give you is to mark a single line on your Simply Scored with a permanent marker. And I just marked mine down the center because it's just the most obvious for me to go to anyway. And that way it keeps you better able to stay on the line that you have determined to stay on. It gives you a visual to follow. And I am going to be using the larger of the two ends of the stylus. There's a smaller tip and a medium one. That's because it fits better in the groove, and also because vellum is a little bit more dense, I'll say, or than the cardstock, and it's a little bit more fragile. You don't want to take the thinner end and push too hard and then rip your vellum. Alright, so the objective here is to score all of your points around your star. So from point to point you're going to make a straight line, and you're going to do that around your whole star. And I'm going to go clockwise. You may prefer to go counterclockwise. That's completely up to you. Okay, so the most important thing is just to make sure that you are in the center, because when we fold, make our folds, we want them all to be as perfect as they can be, because that will help both of our stars go together hopefully perfectly. Oh my, that was a boo-boo. Okay, but that's a good boo-boo to let you know that when you start scoring vellum, we need to be very careful, because as you can see, it makes these heavy white lines. So if you accidentally push, or as I did, wasn't really paying attention and skipped a line, you're gonna get stray marks on your vellum. This won't matter too much for me, because I am going to do some embellishing on this one in particular, but on some of them they look, I have left them plain. They look pretty fabulous just plain, but I always tend to be a little heavy-handed with my embellishing. To me, the more the merrier. So it's a personal preference. Alright, so now that we have it all scored and marked, I will just go ahead and move this out of the way. So before I start folding it, I will tell you that you're going to need 2 stars for the front and the back. I've already pre-scored ones to save time. So I have marked it on this side, and it really doesn't matter if you start on this side or the other, but I'm going to go ahead and just, what I do for the vellum, because of the way, the stiffness of it, I'm going to refold this a little bit differently than we do the cardstock. So I'm going to fold just these lines on the inner points first. And then it's just a matter of turning it over and making sure everything is lined up and straight. And I line up both of these points and hold my finger in the center, and then just give it a crease from the center to the outer edge, and just go around and do all 5 of those short lines from the center to the outer edge. Like I said, you can actually cause stray marks just by trying to crease the vellum with your fingers, so just need to be a little careful. Did I do them all? Okay, so then I take the piece and turn it over, and then we're just going to do the points now, and we're going to fold them down and just make sure all of your edges are straight. The score lines make it easy to fold, but you just want to gently guide them and make sure they're all as perfect as you can get them. One more. Okay, so once I have them all folded, I just go back and recrease my folds just so that it will have a better shape. Just reforming them. With your fingers, of course. Okay, and then because the vellum is stiff and you'll have a very high point, and if you want it that way, that is fine, but I usually give mine a little push and then smooth my lines back out, so that way it's not quite so pointy. And then what you need to do is just dry fit your pieces together. So you see, these are pretty much the exact same. All right. So after you do that, I'm just going to move my silicone mat here in the to give me some work room. So the next thing you need to do is take the Tombow adhesive and fill in each of the wells in the points. You want to get them full because they're going to need to touch both of the stars together. So just put a generous amount in each point. And then, that might be a little bit too much on this one. And then I also put some at each of the inner points as well. Now vellum is translucent, and so it makes it difficult to hide your adhesive when you can see through your piece. But the Tombow dries clear and blends nicely with the tone of the vellum. Okay, and really I don't need to keep doing this. I have pre-glued some pieces, but I'll just show you that I've put a generous amount. So like I was saying, you need to use an adhesive that you will not be able to see through your vellum with. Now, if you used glue dots, the glue dots are not thick enough, and you would have to put several of them together in order to create the thickness you need to put the two pieces together, and you really don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to do a champagne colored one this time. So you could use the Tombow if you wanted to on this, but our shimmer glimmer paper, I'm saying shimmer because they are got much shimmer, but has a slight, what do you call it, a clear coat on the back of this paper, so they will slide with the wet glue. And if you want to do that, that's fine. You just glue it and then set it on the side, because it takes a little bit more time to dry on this clear coat. And so another thing is, again, our glimmer paper comes one-sided, so we cut two pieces so we can put them together. And our glimmer paper is pretty awesome. You get all of this glimmer and glitter without all the mess, because the glitter doesn't come off and go everywhere. I am going to stick these together with the fast fuse. Just always remember to make your flick a check mark, so that way your adhesive breaks evenly. And just be very careful, because once the stuff sticks together, that's where it's staying. Okay, so now the next important thing, I guess I should have said when I was telling you that I filled up the points with the adhesive, you need to put this to the side to dry for at least 15 to 20 minutes, and you want your adhesive to start becoming translucent, and that way it is tacky but it's not wet and still slimy. So when you put your pieces together, they're not shifting all over the place and moving around, and it keeps from making a mess, of course, and then also helps the piece stick together without you having to hold it in place for very long. Alright, so we just need to place our center glimmer piece in opposing direction, the points in opposing directions. And since the glue is fairly dry, you don't have to worry too much about spreading it all over. It's just really gummy. It feels like the glue dots, actually. Okay, and then you could at this point go ahead and whatever you're going to use for a hanger, if you're going to indeed use it as an ornament. I am going to use our baker's twine, and we have gold and silver that kind of it does coordinate with our glimmer paper. So I'm using the gold, since I've used the gold glimmer paper. My toothpick, oh goodness, good thing that's dry. So I'm going to use my toothpick to push my twine into the glue here. And actually I probably let this one dry a little bit longer than I normally would, but it might work to my advantage here. Alright, and then what I usually do is grab the outer portion of this one and the outer portion of the other one, and then I can leave a space and manipulate it with both of my hands so I can get all of my points lined up, and then just touch them together. And it is just that simple. Now I don't know if you'll be able to see. Let me see if I can zoom in. My camera has trouble focusing when we get too close. But you can see, you can hardly see the glue in there at all. Now of course there's lots of ways you can decorate this. I am going to be using the Snowflake card thinlits die. There's actually three, but two snowflakes in here that I have been enjoying tremendously with this project. Let's see, I had gold. So do I put the larger? Yes, I think I'm going to do the larger ones this time. Grab some glue dots. You could also take your two-way glue pen and run it along the edges of the star and put our glitter on there, or some dazzling diamonds. You know, if it just needs a little bit more bling. I don't know if any of us ladies are too shy about adding more bling. Alright, we have a fabulous little ornament. Okay, so thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye now.